Cybersecurity expert and colonel in the Air Force, Reid says maybe not, and it's only going to get worse. Good morning. Thanks for joining us today.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. So, you've got some great tips for us this morning, some things to consider, and really, it's like driving a car.
It is like driving a car, and I appreciate you allowing me to explain this to a little bit to your viewers. And I'm going to make this special for 419 Day.
All right.
I have my 4 tips. Plus one, and it's going to make you 99% secure online. So the first one is making sure your key, as in a password, is secure, and you have to have a key, and it's got to be different than all the other keys because you don't want your key to be replicated in 2 different cars and someone could hijack your car. This is exactly what hackers do. If you have the same password on multiple accounts, they can have the opportunity to get into not only your account, that might be your Facebook account, but also your online banking account. So it's really important to have secure passwords.
You also got to make sure that you're maintaining your car. You're getting the oil changed and keeping it in tip-top shape, right?
Yep. That's exactly right. So when you get into your car and you see that check engine light or you see maybe a flat tire thing, it's just like those pop-ups on your operating system that say, update me now. Installing those patches automatically should be rule number 1, really, after those passwords. Make sure you have those updated software, updating operating systems, and that's going to make you more secure online also.
Okay, and you also need to know where you're going. I know that here in the 419, we love it, but this time of year, those potholes can be pretty rough. So we got to know, we got to know the road, and we got to know how to get around those things, right?
That's exactly right. So if you're driving somewhere, you got to make sure you know which roads you're going on, which roads to avoid. That's like public Wi-Fi. If you're on a public Wi-Fi, it might be great, but guess what? Hackers are also there, and they can listen into your traffic and actually see what you're doing online, and nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, we also, I think the important thing here is the destination, too. We all have somewhere we want to be.
Yeah, exactly. And we all like to go, as you mentioned at the beginning, to our online shopping location. So just remember, Amazon.com is different than Amazon.net. Those are 2 different locations, and you got to make sure you know exactly where you're going online.
And we also need to make sure we're parking in a safe location as well.
No, you're exactly right, Amanda. So parking, I relate that to the fact that I probably have an old MySpace page out there, which is not a bad deal if someone wants to update a picture there, but we'll go back to the beginning too. If my MySpace page has the same password as a different account that I use day to day to do banking, then that's just bad. They might update a password, but if they steal $10,000, we're not going to be happy about that.
Oh, no. And as you mentioned, though, we probably have all of these accounts out there that we've totally forgotten about, because in this day and age, every time you want to apply for something or sign up for something, you have to create an account, and then you do it maybe one time and then you never use it again.
You're exactly right. And sometimes these online accounts, especially applying for a job, might ask you for some personal information. So remember what information you're putting onto these sites, and then God forbid you leave that out there, someone might get access to it. And again, it allows someone to either impersonate your persona or guess on your password and your password activity online to get into some other account you might care about more.
And we had a lot of great advice this morning. Is there anything else that you want to add?
You know what? These are simple tips for users at home, but also affects us in big businesses. The Colonial Pipeline hack was really related back to having a strong password. They came and testified on Capitol Hill and said it was a weak password that actually caused that entire catastrophe. So at home is important, but at work is also very, very important.
It's tough because you're like, you want it to be something you could remember, but we really need to get creative with these, making sure we're using, numbers and symbols and capital, and, and a lot of times on the websites, they will tell you if the password is strong or weak.
They will, and for your viewers, you can go out there and look at password protectors, and there are free versions, and they'll make this simple and automated for you to have a great secure password, and I promise it'll make your lives easier online.
Yes, and we want to be safe as well. Okay, thank you so much this morning for joining us. Great advice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, take care.